I know that these humans are the real animals. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow their house down.
So look, you can research Google. If you got Firefox or any one of them, there's several anyway. What they've been doing with baby fetal tissue, and we can go back over 3 decades. I mean, we'll talk about the blue books and the gray books and the black books in the military that we saw. Facts. But listen to this. And then, oh boy. First, listen to this one, all right?
Implant aborted baby parts into lab animals. Have you heard of that sort of research?
Yeah, we did an analysis a few years ago showing that over 90% of experiments with using human fetal tissue and putting them involved animals were funded by Fauci's NIAID.
Do you know where they're getting the aborted human fetal tissue?
A lot of it is happening at colleges and universities that have affiliated hospitals that perform that procedure.
Madam Chair, I think we need to look into that as well.
That's crazy, right? But listen to the rebranding. I wasn't going to go there yet. I have a story to tell. But the rebranding of eugenics. What do you think? I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, I'm not saying this is facts. I'm saying this is all about education. I mean, when did we stop learning? Like I said, they'll tell themselves. I don't care. But I know that this may be interesting for a lot of you. Okay? So, rebranding of eugenics. Check it out.
Man with machine. So this is basically eugenics rebranded. And a lot of people that funded eugenics causes of the past, like the Rockefeller family, are, big proponents of transhumanism today. The sort of these mergers, because there's many of them, of Silicon Valley companies and big pharma. They're framing it as healthcare, but it's eugenics being framed as healthcare.
Terrifying.
I mean, it's terrifying. It's crazy. There's a lot of words for it, but ultimately, it has to be stopped. And unfortunately, COVID has set this precedent where it can be mandatory. I mean, well, people like to act like eugenics disappeared, and it hasn't. It's just rebranded. And if you look at the history, it's very clear, and it's very disconcerting.
That's why everything you're seeing that is coming out of policy all over the world, all of the World Economic Forum seems so Malthusian.
Look at Canada. The medically assisted death, originally it was going to be for terminally ill people. Now people are pitching it to homeless people in Canada saying, you're too poor to live. Do you want to kill yourself?
How do we not remember what happened last time?
Well, I think some of these people, you look at the Rockefellers, they funded what happened last time. Yeah. A lot of that money that was used to set up the Nazi eugenics program came from the Rockefeller Foundation, and that's a matter of record. They've tried to go back and say, oh, we're sorry, but they're funding a lot of this stuff now.
Now, you already know how I feel about these goddamn teachers. I know my aunt and my cousin. Oh, man, I got a whole bunch of teachers in my family, and I taught martial arts and boxing, and I worked with a whole bunch of guys that went to the police department, whether in New Jersey, New York. I can't say everywhere, but it was for fighting, and a couple of big old boys, Jamaican, two Jamaican. There's one girl, she was tall too. If I say how tall she was, they'd be like, "Oh, she's still on the force." Yes, she is. So I'm not gonna say. My daughter, who's a police officer in Brazil, hands on. But I want you to hear, this is one of the reasons, and there's other people who state this about these professors. Leave your comments in the comment section, all right? And then do your research, all right?
Most dangerous thing in this country today are the universities, because they're teaching the kind of ideas that would necessarily have to lead to the destruction of this country. Institutions from Harvard on down are preaching collectivism, mysticism, and above all, altruism, self-sacrifice of yourself, the giving up, the resignation.
Can you be a little bit more specific? I've never been to Harvard. I've never been to class there, but can you give me an example?
That's your advantage.
Oh, thank you. Of how they are teaching sacrifice, how they are teaching altruism?
Open daily paper and look at Mr. Carter, a very peculiar creature, who is telling you that we're going to overcome the oil shortage by driving less, by giving up. Let us all make a sacrifice. Let's lower our standard of living, and we'll all be living better. Now, is that a proper philosophy to tell a country that has pride and self-esteem, a Harvard that would be preaching American ideas, more specifically reason, individualism, capitalism? If they were doing that, you could have the biggest renaissance in the world, still not too late even now. You could have a better renaissance than the first one. This country would come back to life.
Comment section.